Off the coast of Naples, there's an entire Roman city underwater. Streets, statues, and villas sitting on the sea floor exactly where they sank 2,000 years ago. This wasn't a tsunami. It wasn't a single disaster at all. The ground beneath this city simply sank, inch by inch, until the sea swallowed it whole. Welcome to Baiae, once the most scandalous resort town in the entire Roman Empire, on the Bay of Naples. Emperors, senators, and celebrities of the ancient world came here for the hot springs, the parties, and reputations they'd rather leave behind. Seneca himself called it a vortex of luxury and a harbour of vice, and he wasn't exaggerating. There were floating banquets, imperial pleasure palaces, and bathhouses so advanced some featured domed ceilings that predated the Pantheon. The Emperor Nero is even said to have plotted his own mother's murder from a villa here. A fitting story for a city built on secrets. But Baiae sits on top of the Campi Flegrei, the Phlegrean Fields, one of the most active volcanic calderas on Earth. The ground here doesn't just shake, it breathes, rising and falling over decades in a process called bradyseism. Starting around the 3rd century, the land beneath Baiae began sinking, a few centimetres at a time, for generations. There was no single catastrophic night, just water, creeping further inland every year, until the city its wealthy owners had built was simply abandoned to the sea. By the time it was fully submerged, most of Baiae's original inhabitants were long gone, priced out or driven away well before the water arrived. Today, Baiae is one of the only underwater archaeological parks in the world, and divers can swim directly through what used to be a Roman street. Marble floors are still visible beneath the sand. Columns stand upright exactly where they were built. Archaeologists found an entire nymphaeum, a lavish fountain room, with statues still in place, believed to belong to the villa of Emperor Claudius himself. Some statues found underwater are so well preserved that researchers could identify the exact members of the imperial family they depicted. Even the fish farms are still there. Elaborate stone tanks the ultra-wealthy used to raise their own moray eels for dinner parties. Here's the detail that surprises most people. Nobody built any of this to be found. There was no warning, no evacuation order, no moment anyone marked as the end. The wealthiest families in Rome built a city designed to outlast them, and the sea took it anyway, slowly enough that no one ever agreed on the exact year it was gone. Locals nearby have their own stories about the ruins glowing faintly at night from underwater algae. Nothing supernatural, just bioluminescence. But the legend persists. It's a strange kind of disaster, not sudden enough to be a tragedy, not slow enough to stop. Baiae isn't the only sunken settlement nearby. Just off the coast, divers have also found submerged sections of Puteoli, the ancient port city we now call Pozzuoli. And the same volcanic ground that swallowed Baiae is closely monitored, because it's still rising and falling, even now. In fact, in recent years, the ground here has been rising again, reversing centuries of sinking and worrying volcanologists about what that pressure might mean. So Baiae wasn't the end of the story. It might just be one chapter in a process that's still happening beneath the Bay of Naples today. Nearly 2,000 years later, tourists now snorkel over mosaic floors that Roman senators once walked across. The empire's most decadent playground, perfectly preserved by the very water that ended it. It's proof that sometimes the most dramatic disasters aren't the fast ones. They're the ones nobody notices happening until it's already too late to stop. That's it for today. If this satisfied your curiosity, hit like and stay curious.